As tension rises in Britain, with Muslim men taking over the streets with their prayers instead of using their mosques, it looks like a projection of dominance over Britain. At such a time as this, the palace announced that King Charles will not bring an Easter message. The Islamification of Britain is now so advanced that it appears to have reached even the monarch. This has happened because of the decisions our politicians have made. Even Islamophobia laws are being put in place so that the people cannot challenge or criticize Islam. King Charles gave a message to the Muslim community for Ramadan, yet the head of the Church of England did not see the need to acknowledge Christian believers throughout the UK and the Commonwealth in one of the most significant periods in the church. The foundation of Christianity and those who believe in Jesus begins at this time as we remember the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The failure of King Charles to address the nation and the Commonwealth speaks volumes about what he considers important to his own sense of identity and what he deems core to his role and duty of service as the monarch. Has the king forgotten or simply chosen to ignore that Britain is still constitutionally a Christian nation? The resurrection of Jesus is a time of celebration, one of the most monumental events of the Christian faith. Because of the cross, the crucifixion, and the King of Kings rising from the dead, while King Charles saw it fitting to give a message for the Muslim community, he chose not to do the same for the Christian community. Could it be that the king is shifting his faith position behind the scenes? Whether or not that is the case, the fact that the world is so divided means he should have seen the importance of giving a message of peace and hope to the Christian community. As head of the Church of England, King Charles should see it as his duty to represent the church at this most important and very critical time in our society. He is supposed to be the defender of the faith. At a time when Christians are being suppressed, churches are being burnt, and Christians are being killed, he should be using his position to try and stop the division. At a time when the Christian church is under serious attack, the right time for the king to give a message of hope and reassurance that he is standing with them, remembering his role and remaining faithful to his service to God and country. To give a message to the Muslim community and not to the Christian community is creating a division. The palace spin on this is to say that unlike the Christmas message, the Easter one is not a fixed royal requirement. Nevertheless, with the tensions in Britain and around the world, this would have been the most appropriate time to give a message of faith, hope, and renewal, following in the footsteps of his mother, who never forgot to acknowledge the king she served. This is not about putting one religion against another, but it is a pivotal time for King Charles to show the nation where he truly stands on matters of the faith that is the bedrock of the church he heads, and the values that should be governing it and the nation, at a time when his silence speaks louder than his lack of words. Perhaps he should have learned from his mother, who adhered to the proverb, "Do not move an ancient boundary stone set up by your ancestors." Upholding the foundations of the nation means leaders in authority carry a responsibility to preserve the core spiritual and moral bedrock their people rest upon. When those foundations face pressure or competing influences, true leadership visibly affirms and defends them instead of staying silent. What a leader chooses to highlight or omit reveals where his loyalty lies and shapes the culture around him. King Charles, as the monarch and therefore defender of the faith, holds this duty in his hands. The time has come for him to remember his place and stand firm in upholding the foundations of the nation. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.